Hey. Hey.
どうもありがとう。
お願いします。45 minutes for どうもありがとう。お願いします。
お願いします。
Right. Way ahead, way ahead. And side to side. Hey, your two shoulders. Circles one way. Circles the other way. Hey, your arms going forward. And going back. And front, shaman. And sides, shokumen. And on the back. So the other side. Across. And the other side. Hey, open and close. So engage your core muscles, lower your hips, and keep your hands in front of you. Taisabaki. Hand tie the other side. And both sides. Tenchi. Yoko. Hey, Ibuki, hands out, breathing in, out. Down. Good. Go. And good. Go. Ahí, cada uno. Y the side. Both sides. Down. Your knees from the back. Circles one way. Circles the other way. Down. 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 Bend your toes. Down. 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 And one more down. And Taisabaki. And open your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Left foot in front, raising up your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Side, raising over your leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change. Hip hinges. Okay, so start with small hinges, not reaching the floor, and progressively try to reach the floor, but without compromising too much your position. Okay, so the important thing is not to reach the floor. The important thing is to hinge from the hips and maybe reach the floor, but not reaching the floor, because otherwise your shoulders got and your head got. So use your hip, hinge from that. You start just with little hinges, on the front of your hands. Just start like that. If you feel that you can't touch the floor without compromising your position, then do that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the other side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, okay. This time, let's just continue with, actually no, let's just finish warming up this one first. Opening your legs, elbows down. And coming forward. So back stretch. Forward again. Keeps up. And push into your toes. And pushing down. Up. Back again. Forward again. Hips up. Push into your toes. Pushing down again. Curling up. And back stretch. All right, jumping all the way in. Keep it tight. Open to one side. Open to the other side. 8 and going up. Okay, if you cannot do this all the way down in Jigotai, just go as low as you can, and then try to open on one side of your hip, close, open your knee, open the other side of your hip, close, you know, and come up. Just at whatever level of work you can perform this without it being painful. In a sense, discomfort is okay, is normal part of waking up the body, but pain is a different thing. Pain is something that has to be managed, and it has to be properly treated and observed with adequate care and things like that. Discomfort is one thing, pain is another. Just be mindful of those things, okay? So please go as down as you can. And open to one side. Down. Open to the other side. Down. And come up. And rotate your hips. One way. And the other way. One more time, down, as much as you can. Open to one side. Down. Open to the other side. Down. And up. And rotate. And then down. One side. Down. The other side. Down. And up. And rotate. Down again. One side. Down. The other side. down, bring. So. And down, and back. So this time, pushing all the way back. Pushing forward into your arms. Pushing up. Pushing down. And back. Okay, so when you do the backwards, try to go, when you do the forward and backwards, try to have your forearms completely on the ground, like keeping your forearms on the ground, and moving from the forearms forward into the hands, and then you do your push up, and you push down, and keep your forearms down into the ground and extend again. Okay, so try to see if you can leave your forearms on the ground. Okay, and coming forward, pushing up, pushing down, forearms down, and push back. Forward, up, down, back. Forward, up, down, back. Forward, okay, up. Now this time hips up, okay, touching one toe, touching the other toe, come forward, push down, and back. Okay, so the same thing, but now we added touch toes with in your bridge position. Okay, so forward, pushing up, hips up, touching one toe, touching the other toe, coming forward, push down, push back. One more time, forward, pushing up, hips up, one toe, the other toe, pushing forward, down, and back. One more time, forward, up, hips up, touching toe, forward, down, and back. And relax. So everyone, this exercise that you can eventually when people get into these exercises for strength training and things like that, you just do 4 sets of 8 or whatever it is. At the moment, just to kind of get control on our body and be able to still, more than anything, so it's own the movement. That the fact that you don't fall into the movements, but that every movement is done with intention. With the intent of performing the ups, the down, the holds, the touch with certain level of intent. Okay, we're talking about yesterday sincerity of movement. That's what you're trying to do. Do that movement with the intent and reflect it in the movement. Okay, so now this time, come into your arms, into your plank position, or your forearms. Okay, plank position in your forearms. Okay, and you're basically going to try to come and touch your elbows. Okay, plank position and touching elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down and relax. Okay. If touching elbows is not possible or feels too hard on your hips, just hold the plank position in that form. Remember, the idea of the plank is that your core muscles are engaged, your shoulder blades are rolled downwards, so you keep that position. And obviously try to not, possibly I was having too spiky of a bone there, so try to just have it a little bit more flat, but not completely flat and downwards. So engage core muscles, roll your shoulder blades, And then from that position, if you can, touching your elbows, that's fine. If you can't touching your elbows, just hold that position of the plank for the period that we are working on, okay? All right, now again, plank position, engage your core muscles, roll your shoulder blades, and bring your elbows in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Relax. Okay. All right. Here we go, one more time. Down, plank position, engage core muscles, roll your shoulder blades. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and relax. So. All right, one more time, last one, and again, plank position, engage core muscle, roll shoulder blades, and start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Relax. Hey. This is a position, ukemi, ikkyo ukemi. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to touch your shoulder on the ground. 5. Take the arm, shoulder on the ground. The other side. 1, shoulder on the ground. 2, 3, 4, 5. Kote mawaru. Elbow up, the other elbow down, pushing towards you. 1, Nikyo. 2, 3, 4, 5. The other side, elbow up, other elbow down, grabbing your hand, pushing towards you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's do that one more time. Our kote mawaru, our nikyo, remembering that there are really 3 directions. Like nikyo seems very simple, but it's interesting. It's a little bit complicated because the movement is happening in 3 directions, effectively 3 different directions. So direction 1 is coming towards you. That's at the time when you move towards your partner. Your centers are connecting. So direction 1 is moving towards you in this exercise. Direction 2 is basically working out the wrist joint, which is when your hand pushes that way. Okay? So this way one direction, that way another direction. So you push in and push towards the elbow. So towards your body and towards the elbow. Towards your body and towards the elbow. Towards your body and towards the elbow. So that's 2 directions, towards your body and towards the elbow. And then a 3rd direction is when we work out the ulnar joint, which is the tiny little bony bit that we have here in the hand. So that joint gets worked out by lifting the pinky up, by going into that direction. So, okay, so a Nikyo effectively, that's why many times our Nikyos don't seem to quite work. is because we only do them in one direction or in one dimension rather than on just 3 different dimensions, because eventually we need practice to do that. But if you think about it when you do it in your warm-up and just consider it when you practice it in the dojo, is direction 1 towards your partner, direction 2 towards the elbow, which is working the wrist joint, and direction 3 towards the pinky, which is working the ulnar joint. So 1 direction, 2 directions, 3 directions, kind of thing. 1, 2, and 3. So those 3 directions are work on Nikyo. So let's just do it one more time. You can consider that. Grab your hand, direction 1 towards you. Okay. Now direction 1 and 2 towards me while pushing towards the elbow. And now directions 1 towards me, 2 towards the elbow, 3 while lifting the pinky up. 3. Yeah, so that's those 3 directions is how Nikyo works. So when you do your warm-up, it's important to still consider those 3 directions, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other side. Okay, so direction 1 towards you, direction 2 towards the elbow, direction 3 towards the ceiling with the pinky. Now the 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kote hineri, elbow up, grabbing your wrist and rotating from your elbow and your shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other side, kote hineri. Now elbow, shoulder, and forearm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kote gaeshi towards you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those 3 exercises, we would normally just call them Nikyo, Sankyo, and Kote Gaeshi. Remember, the old names that are not used for Nikyo and Sankyo are Kote Mawaru and Kote Hineri. But in a sense, you could put those three techniques into one category of techniques: Kote Mawaru, Kote Hineri, and Kote Gaeshi. And the only thing for us to study and consider is what do we mean by kote. Sometimes kote is the small part of a hand. Sometimes it's considered the wrist, but more appropriately is considered the forearm. So in kote gaeshi, kote mawaru, the nikyo, kote hineri, the sankyo, and kote gaeshi, which that's how we call it. Sometimes there's too much effort in manipulating the wrist. But is it the wrist what we're trying to manipulate, or is it the entire forearm what we're trying to manipulate? You know, ultimately, the ultimate thing that we try to manipulate is the spine. But let's say in the position of what you are working with, is it the wrist or is the entire forearm? So in kote gaeshi, in nikyo, kote mawaru, are you twisting the wrist or are you lifting the entire forearm? In kote hineri, sankyo, are you twisting the wrist or are you working with the entire forearm? In kote gaeshi, are you returning the wrist or are you returning the entire forearm? And so just keep that in mind for those wrist techniques, you know, which most of the time are called kote something. Okay? And just remembering that in literal sense, kote in that sense can mean forearm, not only wrist. Okay, so remember that, please. Sitting down, shirokemi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, up to your knees into Yoko Ukemi. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And on your knees, Senpo Ukemi, but Senpo Ukemi with a extension, holding for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and roll. Okay, so extension, holding with your core muscles for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and roll. Remember, it's opposite hand and opposite leg. So left leg, for example, or right leg and left arm. Okay, so opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay, not same side, opposites. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, go. Change. Hold. 1, 2, 3, go. Change. 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 1, 2, 3, go. Continue on your own time a little bit, please. Continue, continue. Okay, so standing up, please. Just a quick review of some of our most basic movements with our feet and our hip. Okay, but again, trying to do them quite consciously and quite correctly with your hips down. So okay, so let's say the first movement would be just a simple step. Okay, Yumi Ashi here, open step. Second movement a pivot. Third movement, second movement a turn. Third movement a pivot. Okay, so let's just start with those 3 first. Okay, so step in 1, turning 2, pivoting 3, and come back again. The other side. Stepping 1, turn 2, pivot 3, and back again. Step 1, turn 2, pivot 3, and back again. 1, 2, 3. Back again. 1, 2, 3. Back again. 1, 2, 3. Back again. Okay, so that's the movement of the feet. Okay, so it's a step, it's a turn, and it's a pivot. That's what the feet are doing. Okay, and now in all those cases, remember keeping your hips down. Okay, so move with your hip for the step, move with your hip for the turn, move with your hip for the pivot. Okay, so just go down, and now that the feet know what they're doing, make sure that the hip is really what is commanding the movement. So the feet should know. Now use your hip. Stepping in, 1, turn 2, pivot 3. Okay, use that. Okay. Stepping in, 1, turning 2, pivoting 3, and back again. So lower your hips. Stepping in, 1, turning 2, pivoting 3. One more time. Stepping in, 1, turning 2, pivoting 3, and back again. All right, so hopefully now we know what the feet are doing, the stepping, turning, and pivoting. We know that the hip has to be engaged all the time. Now let's go to our upper level alignment. One hand in front, okay, so you are stepping in, hand in front. Keep your nose, your hand, and your navel always aligned. Turn 2, and pivot 3. Okay, so make sure that your hand and your nose don't kind of go, for example, people like navel that way, nose that way, hand this way. That's completely different. Okay, so keeping your hand in front with your nose and your navel. So stepping in 1, turning 2, pivoting 3. Don't forget that your hip should be down. Okay, your hip is down. Step 1, turn 2, pivot 3, and back again. Step 1, turn 2, pivot 3, back again. Step 1, turn 2, pivot 3. Okay, so with the feet know what they're doing, hopefully. The hip is down and engaged, and the hand, the nose, and the navel are aligned. Okay, so the last thing to try to do now is to the second hand, keep it extended. Awake and extended, as opposed to kind of here loose and not really knowing what to do with this one. So this hand, extend. Keep it extended in the opposite direction of your movement. Keep it alive and full of energy, okay? So 1, 2, 3. You just check that your hand, one hand is in front of you, aligned. The second hand is behind, extended, okay? So, on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Again, alive and extended, both hands. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And again. 1, 2, 3. Done. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the footwork is the excuse to do movement. The important thing at the moment is to keep your hip down and engaged, keep your hand aligned with your nose and your navel, and keep the other hand that is currently not in front, the other hand extended and alive. What's happening? Let's have one more footwork. Okay, so stepping in, turning, pivoting, and absorbing. Okay, the other side. Stepping in, turning, pivot, absorb. Tension. Okay, stepping in, turning, pivot, and step back, absorb. And stepping in, turning, pivot, absorb. Side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's add one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and when you're absorbing, now absorb and hinge. Okay, so stepping in 1, turning 2, pivoting 3, absorb 4, hinge 5. Okay, 1 step, turn, pivot, absorb, hinge. Step, turn, pivot, absorb, hinge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so all right, one more. Okay, one more movement. All of these ones is just again basic movements for our footwork. Okay, so stepping in 1, turning 2, pivoting 3, absorb 4, hinging on one direction 5, open, hinging on the opposite direction 6, and then the other side. Okay, so Stepping 1, turning 2, pivot 3, absorb 4, hinge 5, raise up, hinge in the opposite direction 6, and back. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, let's finish this stopping there. All right. Once again, that little sequences like that are the ones that are important to continuously do, because they embody the most basic set of movements and motions practicing in any technique or whole technique. So those things have to be in the body as much as possible. So when the time for technique comes, we don't have to worry too much about that. We can worry about the technique. You have to pay attention to the details that the instructor is showing, and hopefully, as we move on in our training, we don't have to worry too much about that. We can start paying attention to the more intangible elements of the training. But if we don't have this in place, putting too much attention to other things is complicated. It doesn't quite work. Okay? Let's finish up. Hey, right? Hey.
Oh, ragazzi.
Arigato gozaimasu. That was on time now.